Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, First Coast Tea Party. My name is Will Brown. I'm running for Soil and Water Conservation, Group 3. I'm running because I care a lot about Jacksonville. I have very deep-seated roots here. My mother grew up here in Jacksonville, as well as my grandmother and my grandfather from the area. My grandpa grew up in Clay County. So Jacksonville, Northeast Florida is very, very important to me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a bachelor's degree from Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas. I'm a product of Clay County. I graduated of Ridgeview High School, Lakeside Junior High, and Orange Park Elementary. So I have deep roots in Clay County. That's why I home base myself. I'm really running because I care so much about this city, and I care about what's the growth that's going to happen with Jacksonville. And soil and water is so important. Another thing I want to let you know about myself is that I'm a member of the Army National Guard. So I do care a lot about service. I mean, that's how much I care about Florida in general, is I care about our community in that way. So I have military service, which I believe provides me the leadership to make proper decisions, understand how decisions work and affect the people.
What is the need for a Soil and Water Commission in Duval County?
There's a big need for soil and water in Duval County, considering what's personally going on with Jacksonville. The first thing people need to know about soil and water that people may not know, it's a local position. So it's independent of the St. Johns River Management. We are strictly responsible for Duval County, and that's important because the St. Johns River Management, they have certain regions that they maintain, and we are only for Duval issues. So if there's any type of issue that we have going on in Duval County, we would address that. So for example, Duval County is having dredging is going to happen probably very soon to create jobs for the city. One of the things that we can do in soil and water, we're supposed to watch and maintain the environment and watch for the environmental impact of what that happens. So we need to make sure that's done well as make sure what happens is we can make sure the politicians are responsible for creating the jobs they say they're going to do. That's something that we can be an advocate for you. As well as I want to hopefully get the board to do something that's very important to me, and that is to stop the dredging, but stop the removing of water from the St. Johns River. Central Florida is currently draining water from the St. Johns in our area, and I believe that is a problem because of their mismanagement. They are affecting Northeast Florida's water, and that shouldn't be allowed to be done. It was fought very hard between Duval, Clay, and St. Johns County. We lost that battle, but that's something I think we need to continue to get a moratorium on that, because we need to manage the water for our families in the future, because water is a big issue in the country at large, as well it is for Florida.
What item would you introduce to the commission for the taxpayer to fund?
Well, because we're an independent district, a lot of people don't know is soil and water can get money from various groups. We have access, because of environmental, to a lot of grants. And grants is something that we can get to fund any products we might need. Now, as far as tax base, I don't think we need to increase any type of taxes for soil and water. That's not something that's necessary. But we can get money from the state, get money from the EPA, get money from various groups, whoever would like to donate money. But I think one of our main jobs is to go out and get that money so that we can help Duval County get better and be able to be visible and help the citizens in any area of which they might need. Because one of the big jobs historically for soil and water is to help conserve soil and water, specifically for farmers. I know Duval's not as big in the farming, but we still have agriculture involved in Duval County. But since we're more urban now, we can help people conserve water so that in times we have a really good rainy season, we conserve water there, so that when we do have times of a drought or not much rain, that we can always have water access for anyone.
How will the needs of the Soil and Water Commission be funded?
Well, the budget, what most people know is the Soil and Water Board is an independent district. So with it being independent, we have to be able to get money for that board. The only way that the board can get funds at least from the tax base, is if we had to fee someone, but that's actually not necessary in the current climate. Our main job is we should be out hitting the ground and getting money from the groups. Now, when you go to any type of board meetings where we can get money from the EPA, but it doesn't involve actually increasing taxes on the tax base. But we're able to help the average citizen as far as with any type of local issues with flooding, because we don't know, we can get that individual with neighborhoods, you have a flooding issue, we can help you out with that. But as far as with funding, we don't need to go and raise taxes for that, but we can get money from other groups when necessary.
How is the Soil and Water Commission taxing authority administered?
The only arm we have is the tax, if we had to, which I don't believe any of us deems it necessary because of the current climate. But we can actually act on behalf of the EPA and fee people. That's the only way we can do if there was some kind of big environmental impact. But I don't believe that's something that I would ever want to do on the board, because I feel that my job as soil and water conservationist would be to protect citizens. I would like to protect citizens from the EPA, because I feel many times they overreach with their authority. I think that it's not right, and that's one thing I think that we need to protect. And I think we can protect you from the local government if it came down to that, because our job is to protect citizens. That's the entire point, is to keep citizens out of trouble from being feed or taxed extra beyond what is necessary. But our job is to help.
Are you fiscally conservative when it comes to spending taxpayer money?
Absolutely fiscally conservative. And what I mean by that for soil and water is we're not going to sit there and raise taxes. That is not our job. That is not the mission of the Soil and Water Board. Our job is not to raise taxes at all. Our job is simply this: if we ever needed, for some reason, because if there was some kind of environmental disaster where we would have to add a tax of some sort, the first thing we do is, what it means to be fiscally responsible is to explain what we're going to do. So if we had to, the first thing is we're going to tell you what we're going to do with the money, and do exactly what we're going to say we're going to do, and end that tax whenever we said we're going to do that. But outside of that, I don't see a need for that, because we can get it from other sources when necessary. But our job is, and my belief is that we need to be more visible, because the current Soil and Water Board is not visible, and it needs to be. You need to know who your soil and water representative is, because if you ever need, because we can advocate for you beyond your city council member. It's something that we're advocate for the community. And I believe our job is to protect citizens. That's our number one goal, is protect citizens from being feed, taxed, or anything else of that nature. But just to help you with any issue you might have with flooding or any type of soil issue dealing with farming. And I'd like you to come visit my website if you can at www.willbrownjacks.com. I have a Facebook page. You can Google it, willbrown_jacks. I have a Twitter page as well. Or if you just want to ask me, send me an email. I'm very friendly in that way. Also, a phone number which you can call me directly, leave a message. I'll call you back, or if I'm able to answer it, I'll answer it directly. But I appreciate your time, and I thank you for the opportunity to serve Jacksonville in this way.
Would you like to make a closing remark?
Absolutely, I would. The main thing is about this mission, we're in this together. At Soil and Water, we're supposed to work to make public partnerships and work together to make sure we have the best community we can, that's also fiscally responsible environmentally, and looks out for one another. So I'd appreciate your vote on November 4th.